Alright, SHOT Show 2017. I bailed out rather than staying for the last day and went home. So I have the wonderful opportunity to witness a shitload of rain in California. I wouldn't mind having some drought back. And I have a whole stack of catalogs and some of my notes and other things about the stuff I saw. I didn't take as many notes as I usually do, so forgive me if I missed something, but I have finally admitted I can't cover the whole show, so I just look at a few things that are of interest to me and move right on ahead. With that, so the usual disclaimers. If my accent gives you trouble, tough potatoes. I sympathize, well, but not really. If you have questions, I'm not hard to find. The website is www.opticsthoughts.com. Probably on it if you're watching this. If you go through the contact form, it'll come right to my email. I'm reasonably busy, but I do tend to get to most of my emails. Sometimes not as quick as I'd like, but I do. I took a bunch of pictures. I have not yet processed the pictures. When I do, I'll probably put them on my website or on one of the photo sharing sites I use called SmugMug. Alright, with that in mind, what I do, I go grab a catalog and try to remember everything I can about the new things with that specific brand. Alright, they are in no particular order. So, Docter Optics, former Zeiss Sienna, now they sort of went into receivership. They were purchased by a company called Noblex. Can't quite figure out what Noblex does. Looks like it's some sort of an investment bank, VC, I don't know who they are. They own a few companies, and they bought Docter, right? So Docter is not a big brand in the US, to put it mildly. To me, they look like a very German traditional company, but they've been around for a while. That was their regional Zeiss, right? And they make pretty decent stuff, and I can't never quite make anything out of it. Traditionally, Docter magnified sights are all aimed at hunting and sport shooting. They don't do tactical things, but in the US, I think they're known more for their little red dot sight. Those miniature red dot sights. A lot of them started calling them Docter sights because I think Docter was the first company to do this. I did a review on Docter Sight 3 not too long ago, and I liked it a lot. It's just a well-engineered sight. It's fairly clever. It has different modes of automatic brightness adjustments for the dot. I ran it on my AR. I'm sitting on top of an Alcan. I tried it in a handgun. It just works well, so I liked it. And I went over to visit them. They had some German people there. We had some issues communicating. My German is, to put it mildly, a little weak. And for most of them, the English is a little weak also. But they do have a rep in the US. Her name is Lisa Bondage. She's a very nice lady. She lives somewhere out here in California, and she's been very helpful. For me, I plan to look more of at some of their products, starting probably with one of the magnified scopes and probably another red dot. So what was new for them for this show was, let me see if they have a picture. If not, I took a picture with my camera. I'll post it up. It's they have a couple of interesting red dot sights. They have one that's extremely short vertically. It's really intended for shotguns. They're calling it a quick sight. It sits extremely low to the shotgun and clamps onto the rib. They had one sitting on a Picatinny style base. I think it fits into somewhat normal Docter mounting slots. Yes, it's kind of interesting. With a handgun, because the vertical spacing is so short, so low, so short, it's hard to see the dot, right? Your missile line just slightly, you don't see it. But in a shotgun or in a carbine or anything really where you have some sort of a cheek weld, it'll work really well, and probably, I need to try. and it is very, very compact. The dot is 5 MOA in size, so it's probably better for shotguns, but that was kind of interesting. So anyhow, so what's new this time is the Docter Sight G. I assume G stands for Grande or something, I don't know. But what it is a red dot sight with the same rough footprint, approximately, as the conventional Docter sight, maybe slightly wider and quite a bit taller. So the window they are looking through is a lot bigger. This is, I don't know how well you can see it, but this looks like, you see the proportions all different. Two dot sizes, 3.5 MOA and 7 MOA, and this one, I don't think this one is automatically adjusted. I think this one is has two buttons on the side that are nicely shielded, so I'm not going to press them accidentally. You know, they had it on a blue gun, and I tried it. It's pretty good. I think it will be available sometime closer to the summer. I just had a prototype. I will definitely get my hands on one, and I will look at it. It looks interesting. It looks like it would be very, very quick. I'll probably pop in my Glock and try to take it to the next handgun class. I'm thinking of taking a rifle class probably around April, and I'll probably do a handgun class sometime in the summer. And that would be very interesting. But anyhow, I like the idea, and it's a nice sight. And the Docter Sight 3 I've tested is holding up extremely well. But anyhow, so that's Docter Sight. Stay tuned. They have some 6-power scopes with what was interesting is several scopes they looked at, good, well-made German scopes, hunting-style scopes. And I thought the illuminated reticle was executed extremely well. And it had this thing where, like several scopes do now, where you point it up and the reticle illumination just turns off. It's kind of a nice thing if the rifle is sitting in a safe or whatever else, you're not burning up the battery. Okay. Alright, so that's Docter Sight. Since we're on a German pavilion, next to them there was this Jans, the Revolver, some sort of big-ass German revolver, big-ass, technical term. They had a couple of models, interchangeable barrels, interchangeable cylinders, interchangeable calibers, yada yada yada. Apparently, you know, in Germany you can only have a limited number of gun licenses, so you can have one gun license and a bunch of calibers, etc. I like the idea, but this revolver starts at $6,000. $6,000, it keeps my big fat hairy ass. Yeah, maybe I should erase that from the video. All right, EOtech. So we are all nicely familiar with the scandals that EOtech has gone through lately, with, you know, lying to the army, lying to the consumer, thermal stability being not all that great, and all that. I'm going to ignore all that for now. Suffice to say, EOtech is not doing all that great, so it's a nice thing. It's nice to see that they're coming out with new products. They are continuing to make all of their holographic sights. There's a gazillion different versions. I didn't bother to look through them all. They have some different reticles which I like, and some other things. What I liked was that they added magnified sights to it, right? So they're called Voodoo. The announcement was on the web a little while back, but it's nice to see them in person. So there are 3 models, oh excuse me, 4 models, I missed one. 4 models, 1 to 6, 2.5 to 10, 3.5 to 18, and 8 to 32, with objectives ranging from 24 to 50 millimeters on the high magnification models. Best that I can tell, the designs are made by Light Optics Works in Japan. They are apparently making optics for everyone and their grandmother. And they are all front focal plane. They all have comparatively simple reticle. The 1 to 6 has a reticle that sort of reminds you, the 2 reticle options, right? But they're basically a large ring like on the conventional EOtech, and something else in the middle, either hold over horseshoe or a meal scale, whatever else. The idea is that you go down to 1x and you've got a large circle, you just go fast, and when you go to 6x, the circle kind of gets out of the way, you don't see it anymore. You have a finer reticle in the center to aim. It's the concept is not unique. The concept is not unique to EOtech, but we'll see how well executed it is. The fundamental question that I have is that so Light Optics Works has several reference designs, and I've seen them used by a number of manufacturers, right? So I know how those perform, but many people tweak them a little bit, and my impression is that EOtech tweaked the design for their purposes somewhat. And I don't know how extensive that is. Cosmetically, it's different, so to change power, you rotate the whole eyepiece, grab the whole thing, like you're doing a lot of Nightforce things, although I don't think the ocular adjustment moves, but most of the eyepiece is a power adjustment thing. The scopes look sleek, reasonably well engineered, reasonable turrets. I think they pop up and lock and they have the zero stop, but I think it's just a conventional zero stop that LOW makes that isn't used by a bunch of people like Bushnell and others. There are a couple of things stood out. So, 1 to 6 and 2.5 to 10, 30mm tubes, 3.5 to 18, and 8 to 32, 34mm tubes. In many ways, I sort of welcome the simple reticles, but I'm surprised that they didn't come up with something a little more sophisticated for the higher power precision scopes. Anyhow, we'll see how they do. They've got Milan MOA reticles. I am going to try to get a couple of these in my hands, do a test, and see how well they stack up. It's gonna be interesting. See, one thing kind of nice, they're not terribly heavy. They're not light, but they're not terribly heavy, right? A lot of the scopes I see now are on the heavy side of things. These are not too bad. So anyhow, so that's EOtech Voodoo. Everybody's giving scopes cool names. Voodoo, Tango, don't care. Nightforce. I went to the Nightforce booth. Nightforce has a really reasonably well worked out lineup. The interesting thing for this year, it's been on the sniper side. That is the 7 to 35 by 56 Attacker F1. Other two Attacker F1 scopes I saw, the 4 to 60 and 5 to 25 were very nice. So I expect 7 to 35 to be quite good as well. They had two of them on display, and one looked excellent, and the other one had issues. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that those are manufacturing floor sample something. But that having been said, I'll ask Sean Murphy to send me one and test it. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to test it against, because top end 35 power on the top end, that's a lot. I don't have a whole lot of scopes that do this. So I don't know. That's something for me to think about. Okay. The other sort of a new-ish thing for Nightforce is their competition fixed power scope designed for the CMP shooting. It's a fixed power 4.5 to 24